How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a rant and a discussion video, which I haven't done in quite a while. So, as many of you have heard, especially those of you watching that live in the United States, as 2019 began, California passed a new law. Now, California is already notorious for having really strict automotive modification laws. I guess that's how you could put it. They're very strict on what sort of modifications you can do to your cars, and until now, really there haven't been super severe penalties. In the past, you've pretty much only gotten fix-it tickets, to my knowledge, unless it's something really serious. But now California has taken it a step up, and they're now getting pretty serious with this stuff. So, as I said, the beginning of 2019, which was about a week or two ago, California enacted a new law that basically says, if we think your exhaust is too loud, you're gonna get fined $1,000. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull over up here so that way I can read you guys the law verbatim. It's not very long, only about a paragraph. But basically in this video, after I'm done talking about the specific law itself, I'm gonna give my opinion on it, and then at the end of the video, we're going to be testing this car, my 2008 Saab 9.3 Turbo X, with, we'll just say, some exhaust work done to it, and we're gonna see how that stands up to the new California law and if it would be legal or not. So here's what the new law says. As of January 1st, 2019, a modified exhaust on an automobile or motorcycle excessively loud can no longer be cited as a correctable violation. Assembly Bill AB 1824 has taken away the opportunity to correct the violation and requires a citation for such violation to result in a fine only. So basically, before this law, you would get what's called a fix-it ticket, which basically means we're not going to fine you, but you need to get this fixed and show us that you fixed this. So in many cases, it may also result in a trip to the Bureau of Automotive Repair if you feel your vehicle is grossly negligent in this area, removing resonators, deleting mufflers, etc. You know who you are. Don't waste your hard-earned money on this violation. Drive safe, everyone. So yeah, that is that's pretty much the gist of the law there. Unfortunately, there's already some videos of people getting pulled over for this.
Citation. You also need to take to a state referee and have them verify all the components on this motor and this exhaust system, okay?
Okay.
There'll be some information on this citation. You'll also receive something in the mail.
Okay.
All right? It's no longer correctable in California.
Okay.
Any modification to exhaust, you shall go before a judge, and it's a $1,000 fine.
Okay, I wasn't aware of it.
That changed last month due to the takeovers and some of the street racing.
I get
so
it.
unfortunately, you're facing $1,000, buddy, and we'll see you in court. Everything we do here is video cameraed. All right, you guys be careful as you pull away. I recommend fixing it right away and not continuing to drive. We're on a federal grant right now. So there's about a dozen of us working this. We're going to be working this every weekend.
Okay.
And 2 or 3 times during the week sporadically. All because of the fatalities involving cars similar to this. Not saying it was you guys, but you're driving one with the stuff, get it fixed.
Okay.
Otherwise, $1,000 every time.
It really makes me wonder, what happens to the cars that come from factory with very loud exhaust? Because obviously about 98% of cars out there come with fairly quiet exhaust from factory that you wouldn't really have to worry about. But what about cars like a Mustang GT350R or a Camaro ZL1, a Corvette Z06? These cars that are very loud from factory, and of course pretty much every supercar out there. How do you go about interpreting the law for something like that? Because those cars, like I said, come from factory like that. So of course they have to pass certain standards in order to be legal, but you gotta figure that a Lamborghini Huracan on wide open throttle is going to be louder than 95 decibels. And by the way, 95 decibels is what they're using as excessively loud or not. That's kind of their scale that they're using. I'm going to start driving again instead of just sitting here. I don't know why I'm still sitting here. But California's main reason for doing this is basically to help put an end to all these huge pop-up meets that they have in California where people do stupid shit like have a huge crowd in a circle, and then people do donuts inside of the crowd, and people end up getting hurt and sometimes even killed from stuff like that. So unfortunately, the negligence of a lot of, I don't want to say younger people out there, but a lot of people who might think that they're above the law or that the law doesn't apply to them, they're unfortunately impacting a lot of people. It kind of sucks that, you know, there's a handful of bad apples out there that are ruining it for everyone, and by everyone I mean all the car enthusiasts in California, or even car enthusiasts outside of California that other states might see a law like this working and decide to implement it in a state like mine, Arizona. What happens if myself, whose car is registered in Arizona and I live in Arizona, I take a trip to California with this car, which quite frankly will probably happen at some point? What happens if I get pulled over? I shouldn't get fined because my car is not registered in California. I don't live in California, so will I get fined? Will I not get fined? I don't really know what happens in that sense, but I'm not really worried about myself here. I'm more worried about and frustrated along with the car enthusiasts in California who are just people trying to enjoy their hobby, people who like to do this kind of stuff for fun, like to make their cars fast and loud. Point is, if you're just a car enthusiast, you're just driving normal, which most people do. I mean, in the past, as long as you didn't do stupid stuff like fly past a cop running on red line or doing dumb stuff, revving in front of cops, you know, you weren't going to get any sort of fix-it ticket. But now it's like, oh, that car sounds like it has a loud exhaust. I'm going to give you a $1,000 fine and you have to pay it and get your car fixed and spend more money there. I don't know. I feel like this is really just a deterrent for people modifying their cars. I can understand why people, like why California doesn't want people to modify their cars, because a lot of times modifying your exhaust is bad for the environment type of deal. But it's not always like that, you know? And for car enthusiasts, you know, when people ask me what's the first mod I should do to my Saab, what's the first mod I should do to my car, and most people in general, the first mod that they do to their cars is the exhaust, because you get both the awesome sound and the performance from it. So California is essentially in a lot of ways completely eliminating people from modifying their exhausts. Any sort of exhaust that's really going to make a significant sound and performance difference is really going to break that law. And it's not like a one-time $1,000 fine. They could pull me over right now if I were in California and give me $1,000. I could pay it or whatever and go in front of my judge. And then tomorrow I could get pulled over again for another $1,000. I know that there's some Californians out there who have started petitions to sign to basically say, hey, this law is stupid. We need to get this removed from our state pretty much. So hopefully they can get something going with that. I'll for sure sign a couple to help support my friends in California who I know. I mean, I personally think this is it's just stupid. I mean, I guess this is kind of how our society works now, where you have a handful or a select small group of people who like to do dumb shit that they shouldn't be doing, and they end up ruining it for everyone. And it just kind of sucks that everyone has to be taught a lesson that only a few people should be taught. If they're really that concerned about pop-up meets, I mean, it's really not that hard to find where these pop-up meets are. They're very loud, they're very noticeable, so just have cops out there cruising in these areas and they can pull up and shut them down if they're really that bad or intrusive on other people. But I don't think passing a law like this is really going to stop those pop-up meets and these people getting hurt. It's really just punishing those who for the most part have done nothing wrong. I guess at the end of the day, it's just another way for the state to get more money and punish people who aren't doing anything wrong. So, you know, I guess it is what it is. If I lived in California though, and I had my car in California, I'd be pretty stressed out knowing that I couldn't really drive my car without possibly getting a $1,000 fine. At the same time, you basically have to put your car back to stock, because with the tune that's on this car, with the tune that's on a lot of other cars that are modified, you've got to have a less restrictive exhaust to get what you need out of the tune. So it's just, it's stupid. I think I've said all that I need to say at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and record a cold start of this car and see where that sits on the decibel meter or the phone or the app that I downloaded on my phone, which of course is probably not 100% accurate, but it's accurate enough. So California says any car above 95 decibels is excessively loud. So let's see where mine stands on a cold start, and then we'll do a warm start and a few revs. So just gonna warn you guys now, the setup I use to record my phone and the exhaust is kind of sketchy. I just put it on a cardboard box. So there you have it. On a cold start, my car is definitely too loud, and with the revs, same case. So with that being said, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you agree with me and think this law is a bit excessive, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see y'all next time.
Check your body.